When you give up, when you accept that you've already lost this battle, something interesting happens. You surrender, you let go, and often you immediately start to feel better. Hello, and welcome to The Joy Within, where we're eliminating negativity one thought at a time. I'm Kyle Greenfield, and I'll be your guide as we explore how to be calm, confident, and happy in our crazy modern world. Join us each week as we dive into some of the biggest ideas in spirituality and personal development. We'll learn what it takes to gain control of your own mind, master your mood, and navigate the many ups and downs along the way. Visit thejoywithin.org to get started so you can become the calm, confident, and happy person you truly deserve to be. Hello, and welcome back to the Joy Within's podcast. Today, I want to share a strategy that can help you to stop negative emotions from derailing your entire day. I know for me, when I was first learning to manage my mood, sometimes a negative emotion would come up, and it would feel like it would just start to spiral out of control. Even if the thought or the circumstance that triggered the emotion was minor, I would often find that it could impact me so much that I would basically lose the entire day. I wouldn't be able to focus, or maybe I'd just start beating myself up about it for no real reason. And then I'd start to beat myself up because I'd been beating myself up, and I felt like I shouldn't have been doing that. So it became this vicious downward spiral. And at the time, I didn't really know what to do about it. But there's actually a really simple trick that you can use to stop this pattern. It's a little counterintuitive, and you might even think it's a bit radical, but it works. So I want to be clear that this strategy is really only appropriate when you get trapped in those downward spirals that spin out of control. It's for when you have a negative episode that you know will take you a really long time to get out of. It's a last resort strategy, so to speak. And hopefully, over time, as you get better at managing your thoughts and better at managing your energy, you won't need to use this strategy that often. But in the beginning, it really helps. You have to know yourself and know that you probably would have lost the day anyway if you didn't try this technique. Because the strategy, basically, is just to give up. Give in to the negativity. Accept that, for all intents and purposes, you've already lost the day. Acknowledge that you're not going to get anything done. And that, honestly, anything you would maybe get done probably isn't going to be that good anyway, because you're just not in the right headspace. You're just not really focused. Now, I know this sounds counterproductive. After all, our goal is to not let negative thoughts impact us, right? I mean, we want to avoid those spirals. So why would you give in to it? And the answer has to do with how giving up shifts your energy. Think about it. When you're trying to work yourself out of a negative state of mind, it's easy to fall into a battle mentality. You start thinking, I have to get out of this state. I have to improve. I don't want to think that. I want to think this. No, not that thought, this thought. It becomes this fighting situation, and you become really tense and really caught up in it. And it's a hard struggle. I mean, pretty soon you start beating yourself up about it, which just adds another layer of negativity. So when that happens, your main problem isn't really the negative thought. Your number one problem is your energy. It's your momentum. As you fight against your thoughts, you spiral deeper and deeper in the wrong direction. You're battling, you're recoiling. And from that state of mind, you can't fix anything. But when you give up, when you accept that you've already lost this battle, something interesting happens. You surrender, you let go, and often you immediately start to feel better. You had unknowingly put so much at stake in the fight that subconsciously losing was unacceptable. And when you give in, you accept that you already lost. And this is the key. You realize that it's okay. You lost that battle, yes, but you're still here. All is well. So a sense of relief washes over you. And often, you might even feel a sense of peace or even joy. If you don't feel that sense of relief, you haven't really surrendered. You're still struggling against the negativity. You're still trying to fight it. But if you can decide just to give up, to give in to the negativity, to surrender, then you can get to that point of relief. And once you feel that, you've completely changed the game. Because now you can play the game on your terms. You've already given up the day, which means you no longer expect anything of yourself. You give yourself permission to relax. Once you give yourself that permission, you now have a choice. You might literally decide to take the rest of the day off, and that's cool. Just go for a walk, spend some time with friends or family, go get a coffee, whatever it is that makes you feel relaxed. Just tell yourself that you can always get a fresh start tomorrow, and that's okay. If that sounds like a luxury, if you're in a situation where you can't just get up and leave, like you're at work and your boss is breathing down your neck, then you can still do this internally, mentally. It's really about giving yourself that permission, mentally acknowledging that even if you still have to physically be at work, you don't expect anything of yourself. Not for today, not for right now. You've just given up. So that's option A. Option B is to leverage that feeling of surrender into more positive momentum. You can decide that you're going to do whatever it takes to shift your energy further. So you might log into your Joy Within account and watch a few trainings, or do a few exercises, or even just sit and let one of the meditations wash over you. Remember that you've already given up for the day, so it really doesn't matter what you do or how long it takes. But if you make that commitment to try to shift your energy further, you might be surprised by how easy it becomes. Because you've already surrendered, you might find that after a while, and maybe that's 10 minutes or maybe it's an hour or two, you actually start feeling inspired. You start feeling like you want to get back to work. You want to get back to whatever it was you were doing before you entered that negative spiral. You might be surprised at how much easier, how effortless even, your day becomes once you've given up the need to do it. So again, this isn't an everyday strategy. It's not something you want to rely on as your first go-to technique. But it really is something that works if you use it when you know you've already spiraled out of control, when you know that you're not going to get anything productive done today anyway. So give it a try the next time you're in that space and see what happens. Thanks for listening to today's episode. When you're ready to put these ideas to work in your own life, head over to thejoywithin.org and sign up for Happiness University. When you do, you'll have access to all of the tools and strategies you need to eliminate negative thoughts by tuning in to the Joy Within. You can follow a simple, step-by-step system to become the calm, confident, and happy person you deserve to be. Visit thejoywithin.org to get started today. And if you enjoyed today's podcast, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone you love, because I think we can all use a little more joy in our crazy modern world.